You may have noticed that some of your favorite ice cream brands are not actually ice cream anymore. There's not enough cream in them for them to be able to even be counted as ice cream on the technical definition. So in this video, we're going to show you how to make your own ice cream at home, which can end up being cheaper and a lot more customizable. So let's go. To start out with, any ice cream is going to need a solid ice cream base, and the quality of ingredients that you use in this is going to determine a lot about the quality of the final ice cream. So what you choose is going to be important. So these are the things that you're going to need. You're going to need 1 1/4 cup of milk, and you do want that to be whole milk if at all possible, so that that fat content is going to help out. Then you are going to need 1 3/4 cups of heavy cream and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. A tablespoon of vanilla, and you want that to be a really high quality vanilla because that's going to affect the flavor a whole lot, and a pinch of salt. And any of these can be sourced locally if that is something that's important to you, and the quality of the cream is going to make a huge difference. So then you're going to put a cup of the cream and all of the sugar into a saucepan, and this can be pretty much any size that fits it. I'm using a larger one, but a smaller one would work fine for this small amount. You're also going to put a pinch of salt in there, and then you're going to heat it over medium until that sugar dissolves, and you're going to know it's dissolved when you're not feeling the grittiness on the sides and bottom of the pan. And stirring with a rubber spatula might be a good thing because then you can scrape the sugar granules off the side. After that, you're going to pour your cream and sugar and salt mixture into an airtight container. And it seems strange you might use salt in the recipe, but that's just going to enhance the flavor just a tiny bit. So it's not going to taste salty, but the other flavors are going to be just a little bit more dynamic. After you've got that cream base in there, you're going to add the rest of the cream, the milk, and the vanilla into that base, and then you're going to stir that up just to make sure all your vanilla is mixed in really well. After that, you're going to place this in the fridge to cool, and you want it to get to at least refrigerator temperature, which is below 41 degrees, and that's going to make the freezing process be a little bit better. So you do want to put this in the fridge and not go straight into the ice cream maker. So now we're going to talk about some variations that you can do, and we'll talk a little bit later about how creative you can get, but this peach cobbler is a favorite at our house. So if you are using a KitchenAid ice cream maker, which they work really, really well, then you want to put the white bowl part of it and the dasher in the freezer before you start, and it needs to be in there overnight to freeze the core in the bowl. So when you're ready to freeze your ice cream, you're going to twist that bowl onto the base and then place the little adapter over top of the post area, and then put the dasher into the bowl and lower it down. You kind of have to hold it on there as you're putting it in there. After that, you're going to turn your mixer on to stir, keep it at that low level, and then you're going to stir the chilled ice cream base to make sure all those vanilla beans are out of there, and then pour that into the mixer. You can crank your speed up to 2 at this point if you'd like to, but you're going to let this run for 7 to 8 minutes before you add your mix-ins in, because if you put them in right now, they're just going to sink to the bottom. So we want that to be a little bit firmer before we put those in. And as you can see, I'm starting to prep my peaches over on the right while this is running. This is about the consistency you're looking at before you start adding mix-ins. So you want to start being able to see the trailing in the ice cream. So then you're going to add in some frozen chopped peaches, and it is important to use frozen if you can, just because that is not going to raise the temperature of the ice cream that's in there and make it all melt, which is going to undo all the work you just did. You can chop them into whatever size that you like, make them chunky. It might be good to make them a little bit smaller so that you don't have icy chunks in the middle. After that, you're going to add some granola. And I know that sounds strange, but this is going to act as your crumble topping for your cobbler and give it that little crunch in there. And I did about 8 ounces of peaches and then maybe 3/4 of a cup of granola. You want to let that run for about a minute more to mix up and to make sure that everything's in there. As you can see, I'm kind of knocking the ice cream off the top of the dasher. Be very, very careful with that so that you don't end up messing yourself up. So then you're going to scrape your dasher into the ice cream itself so that you get all of the ice cream that's on the dasher into the main part of it. And then you are going to scrape the ice cream into the same airtight container that you had for the base, and then you're going to just put that in the freezer until it's firm. You can eat it now, but it's going to be pretty soft and melt pretty quickly. So getting a little bit colder is going to help it firm up a little bit more. If you're putting into a deep freeze, it's going to be pretty hard when you take it out, so you may want to let that soften for about 10 minutes before you scoop it. After that, you want to look at other options. So sugar cookie ice cream became one of our favorites last summer, and you can use whatever sugar cookies that you've got on hand at your house. You can purchase them, you can use the freezer dough, whatever works for you. But we're going to add that same base into the KitchenAid freezer after you have mixed it up. And then you are going to crumble some sugar cookies. I usually try to get them into 4 to 6 pieces for each cookie. It will crumble a little bit more once you put it into the mixer, but you also want to have some sprinkles ready to go. So you want to reach that thicker consistency that we talked about earlier, where you're seeing some trailing in there, because that means that all these toppings are going to be distributed and not just sink to the bottom. So you're going to add your cookies and sprinkles in, and it may need to run a little bit longer than the peach cobbler if your cookies are room temperature, but that's okay. Just keep on going until you start to see the trailing in the mixer and it gets a little bit more thick. Then you are going to scrape this into your bowl as you did before, into the container, making sure you get every little bit of that out of there because we do not want to waste any ice cream. Then you're going to put your lid on top and let it freeze until it's firm. So pineapple sherbet is really, really good. It's a pretty basic recipe, but the base is going to be a little bit different than your other ones. So things that you'll need. You're going to need a cup of half and half, or you could use a cup of milk and a cup of cream. You want 2 cups of pineapple juice. And I like using these little cans because that way you don't have to worry about how long the bottles have been around, so having the little tiny cans is a little bit easier if you're not using pineapple juice often. You want a cup of sugar, a tablespoon of vanilla, and a pinch of salt. You are going to be using a little bit more sugar since this is going to be a little sour with the pineapple juice. And I used a cup and a half of the pineapple juice from the can, and then the rest of it I got from the crushed pineapple, just so that I would have that balance in there. And the crushed pineapple is going to add a little bit of texture to the final product. You may want to use a strainer to press the juice out, because the crushed pineapple, it's all kind of like worked in there. And so you have to press it out to get the remainder of the juice out. It doesn't just come out easily. And then you're going to set your pineapple aside because we are going to be using that. So you're going to add the half and half, a pinch of salt, and some sugar to a saucepan on medium heat. And we are following the same procedure now as we did before, where we are just trying to get this until the sugar dissolves. You don't want to feel any grittiness in the bottom or the side of the pan. And it does not take very long. I think it might have been 1 or 2 minutes that it took to get this dissolved. Just make sure you're scraping that bottom off to make sure that you are not sticking. So then you're going to put that into an airtight container, add your remaining pineapple juice, and add your crushed pineapple. And you also want to add in your vanilla as well. And I don't usually measure vanilla. I just kind of put it in until it feels right. But it's about a tablespoon of vanilla bean paste. And then you want to chill this until it's cool. This might take a little longer to chill than the other bases, because if your cans are room temperature, then it's going to be a little bit warmer. So you're going to set your ice cream maker up as you did before. You're going to turn that mixer on to stir as you did before, and then put your ice cream base into the mixer. And for this one, because we're not doing any mix-ins, the way that you know that this one is done is you're going to just mix it until it starts to climb the dasher. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment. It'll just start to get thicker and start to build up on the sides. And it also means that the ice cream is getting a little bit of air in there as well. But it's going to take about 7 to 8 minutes to get to this point. So be patient with it, let it go. And depending on your room temperature and how cold your freezer was when it froze the bowl, it might take a little bit longer than that. So you're going to scrape everything off your dasher, which is that middle part, and then scrape your ice cream into a container. I found that these containers work really, really well for this process. So I've got some general tips for making ice cream that might help you out overall. It's not as difficult a process as a lot of people may think, so it's kind of important to know what your limitations are and what kind of things you want to think about as you go. So you can add any mix-ins to this base that you would like to, and you add this at the same stage that you would add the peaches or the cookies in the video. You can do any sort of mix-ins that you would like to. So just knowing that you're making sure that it's a little bit thicker. So you've got all sorts of options. You've got brownie, you've got cookie dough, cookies, any type of fruit, any form of fruit, any extracts or flavors can be added as well. Graham crackers, cheesecake bits are all going to be options that are going to make it really nice. So one thing that will help you out a lot is if you chill your mix-ins before you add them in, it'll make the churning process a little quicker, and it's less likely that you will melt the ice cream when you add them in there and set yourself back a little bit. After you've used the churn, you want to rinse that out with warm water, but you want to wipe it really quickly with a cloth and not a paper towel, because a paper towel will freeze to the side of it. But I only do that if I'm going to be using it pretty quickly, like within the next little bit, because if you're making another batch shortly, you are going to want to place it in the freezer for about 2 hours just to let it chill back up again. If you are not using it again, you can just complete the process once the bowl has thawed, but I do recommend rinsing the stuff out beforehand. If you are not using a KitchenAid ice cream maker, you're just going to follow your manufacturer's directions, but it should work just about the same. It just depends on what type of ice cream maker you have. You can use this base in an old-fashioned ice cream maker. You can use it in one of the more modern ones. You're still going to end up with a much better product than you're able to purchase at this time. Thank you so much for joining us and watching this video. Please let us know in the comments if you decide to try some of these recipes. And please help us out by subscribing. We are very, very close to monetizing the channel, and so subscribing helps us out a ton.